Risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 207. I'm your man behind the microphone and your current reigning and defending Scholars of Wrestling champion, Scholar Jeff. And to my right is the former champion, Scholar Tarek. What's going on tonight, sir?
Soon to be the two-time Scholars of Wrestling champion, Scholar Tarek. Hello, everyone. It's so nice to actually be back in front of a camera. Hopefully this time we can stay in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Not just behind the microphone.
Yeah, but let's see if we can actually all defend our titles and actually come out on top. But then again, before we get to all that, before we get to Money in the Bank weekend, we've got a lot to talk about in this week in wrestling. It was a very eventful week. So we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the big highlights from this week in wrestling in a little segment we like to call Backstage News.
Indeed, we shall go ahead and peek behind that little curtain there and check in on a little
Backstage News.
There's no Brian.
So no man.
Yeah. So good. No man. I don't want the man.
Well, I wouldn't be too quick to say that because there was a little bit of meh this week. If you're looking at the CM Punk MMA fight in UFC, did you see any of this?
I honestly did not. I just read the results. It's a shame that he lost another one, but I'm basically going to be repeating what I said in his first match. I respect the fact that he is doing something he loves. It's just the fact that he's kind of jumping into the major leagues of MMA fighting right off the bat. The best thing he should do is just go facing, like, the best way to put it, the indie scenes of MMA fighting instead of just jumping into the WWE of MMA fighting, which is UFC.
I think that's what they attempted to do with this Mike Jackson guy, who apparently, again, I don't pay too much attention to the MMA scene typically, but I saw this, and according to everyone all the MMA reviews and shows I've heard ever since then, the consensus on this Mike Jackson guy is that he's basically like a no-name. And now he's just suddenly getting thrown in the UFC, and now he's showboating when he should have put CM Punk away multiple times. I mean, I saw it was like tickling him at a couple points. Like, come on, it was
be more respectable than that.
As rough as CM Punk performed, at least he showed some toughness out there. Like, that was the other bit of consensus I heard it too. Like, Punk is tough, but he's just not a naturally gifted athlete. Like, Brock Lesnar is a freak of nature. He's just, a guy who can take a few shots. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, nothing really more else to say. It's just Punk should just think about these two losses. Once again, just if he wants to continue in MMA fighting, good for him. But like I said, go stick down more to the lower indie scene and really build up your game instead of just going right in and just saying, "Oh, I got game," and lose two fights in a row.
Quick Scholars Quick Talk question. Will Punk be all in? No?
I don't think so.
I think there's an outside chance. He won't wrestle.
He'll just show.
But I think there's a good, strong chance he's going to make an appearance, at the very least.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Appearance, yeah, but actually being involved in the event, no.
On the bright side, however, we did get a nice little piece of gold, and apparently so did Kenny Omega, as he is now, as of Dominion this past weekend, he is now the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion, finally beating Okada in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which I'm going to say it right now. This is the standard bearer. This is going to be match of the year.
Oh, absolutely. This was a great match. I even watched the highlights to prepare for this show because I knew we were going to be talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
And wow. Just so much fun. Great match. There's really not more else to say, but Dave Meltzer basically having a complete hard-on all over this, but granted, he actually is right.
Tokyo Dome.
It actually was a really, really great show.
It really was.
It was a great show, great match, and now we also have a new Intercontinental Champion, a 10-time Intercontinental Champion in Chris Jericho.
Yeah, who would thunk that?
Different company, but still, it's an Intercontinental Championship, so it counts.
This match, this show rather, was just so much fun. There was so much to like, and really, this is going to be the match that is not just going to be the standard bearer for the rest of the year, but dare I say it, for the rest of the decade. This is like the gold standard for like what the core wrestling fan is going to be talking about for years to come.
That's all you need to say, really.
Yeah, and it was spectacular. So, and again, the more I see from Kenny Omega, the more I love the guy. So, on behalf of everyone here at the Scholars of Wrestling, this humble little YouTube show, internet radio show, wherever you want to listen to us, whatever you want to call us, we congratulate you and we love you. Salute.
Now, good luck with you and the Young Bucks facing the New Day at
E3 this week.
Yes.
Which, by the time this goes on actually, this is probably going to go right on YouTube.
Yeah.
Around the same time. So, enjoy E3 while you're at it, buddy. So anyway, that was this week in the world of backstage news and elsewhere. But now we have to turn our sights to WWE as a whole, because we've got on the horizon one of the bigger shows of the year, and we're talking, of course, about WWE Money in the Bank 2018. And before we get started, in case someone outside is not keeping track, our belt here, the championship of the Scholars of Wrestling show, is going to be defended. Nope, not yet. No, don't touch. No touchy. No touching the belt.
Touch. It's going to be mine again, so I'll just touch all over it.
But it's not yours yet. I am still the champion. So
a one-time defending champion?
Hey, you know as well as I do, you're going to have your fair shake at this. So let's dive right in. Money in the Bank predictions 2018. Let's go. Starting with the kickoff show, we've got the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Club for the SmackDown tag titles. Who do you got, sir?
I just got one quick question before I make my prediction.
Yes.
Do you think WWE did a very good job at building this event?
I think they had a fair amount of time to build the main matches. I think they did a fine job building those. But as far as every match in the card, you can tell where they put their attention.
To an extent, yeah. I'll just say these past two go-home shows did not leave any impression on me. It didn't make me go, oh, I have to see this. This is going to be a great event. No, not at all. It's more just watching it for the sake that we can talk about it next week.
Yeah, I will say, however, that the first couple weeks or so, when they were actually locking in the qualifiers for the Money in the Bank matches for both the guys and the girls, that was some pretty interesting television. There were stakes, there were qualifying, there was a good variety of matches that I actually really enjoyed.
I'll give you that one. They definitely had good build up for the qualifying matches and all that. I just think it's because there was so much time in between this and Backlash that it was just, okay, you have the event, you have the matches set. What do we do now? Let's build.
That's exactly how it felt.
Let's build this in my opinion, the most asinine way, because most of the build for these matches have just been lackluster.
That's I just see it as a side effect of them trying to fill up way too many hours of programming a week.
There could have been ways that they could have done better build. I mean, if you look at one particular match, Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn, need I say more?
We'll get to that.
Oh, yes, we'll get to that. But anyway, now for the Bludgeon Brothers and the Club, or the Good Brothers is now what they like to call themselves. I'm going to go with the Bludgeon Brothers, because it's the Bludgeon Brothers. Everyone knows my opinion on the Bludgeon Brothers being SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They're honest. They're probably saving them for whenever the hell Sanity decides to show up. When. That's a big when. Maybe they'll show up on the SmackDown after this to build for a SummerSlam, hopefully.
I hope.
Until then, where the hell are they? So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, this is a fairly easy pick. I'm gonna go with the Bludgeon Brothers too, just because. Again, as much as I do like Gallows and Anderson, I just don't see this being the time for it. Despite all the trash talking between Harper and Carl Anderson. Did you see this?
On Twitter?
Yes.
I know of it. I haven't seen it. I just know that they were saying something.
Yeah. Basically, Harper was just like, oh, hey, Carl, is your hot Asian wife going to be there?
I have to bring in the hot Asian wife. What's her name? Hot Asian wife.
Asian wife. I don't know.
Just hot Asian wife.
Yeah.
That he got off a hot Asian wife website.
Yeah, because that's how this works. Anywho, moving on. Next match on the card we've got Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. What are you giggling about?
This feud is stupid. It is just a silly feud. All this is that Big Cass doesn't like Daniel Bryan because he's tall. And because Daniel Bryan is not tall. That's all Big Cass has for this feud. Did you see the Go Home show?
I did not catch the segment.
Big Cass he managed to go to like some kind of carnival to promote it, I guess, to make some kind of special appearance, and he takes one of those height measuring signs.
Oh, that I did see.
Oh yeah, and Daniel Bryan, he can't go on any of the rides because guess what? He's short. That's all Big Cass ever talks about when it comes to this feud.
And you know what? Something about this just strikes me as being really silly, and I can't help but like it. It's like a guilty pleasure for me. It really is.
It's because it's Daniel Bryan. That's
all
it is.
It's because Big Cass honestly feels like a cartoon character.
I like cartoon characters. You know me. I'm a big animation guy. But the character has to have that character. He has to have more than just, hey, guess what? I'm a big guy.
As he looks deadpan into the camera. If he did that, that would be great.
Hey, guess what? I'm 7 foot tall. And?
Big, you small.
What do you mean, and? Yeah, you're 7 foot tall. I can see that. You're very tall.
And you can teach that?
Anything else? Anything else? No? Oh, well, I'm sorry. I can't get invested in you if you're just a big guy. That's it.
That being said, however, do you have a prediction? Because I'll tell you this right now. I'm going for Big Cass because apparently they still want to make some... They got to give him a legit win. We've already seen that Daniel Bryan can beat him. It's possible. Clearly. Yes.
Not just could beat him. He's beat him wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And
matter of minutes.
Big Cass is due. In my opinion, I think he's due. But do you feel the same?
As much as I don't want it, I can actually see I can just see this being another squash and then just moving on. But that's more of what my heart wants. But what my mind is thinking, they're probably just going to give this to Big Cass. There's rumors going around that they're going to keep this feud going for Extreme Rules. Maybe hopefully just to end it. So put Daniel Bryan in a big feud after he finally makes some kind of deal renewing his contract, because apparently that's what's holding him back. That's what's keeping him in this feud. It's like, oh, we have possibilities. We just don't know if Daniel Bryan is going to go with those possibilities because he hasn't signed a new contract yet. So, I as much